Okay. Hey, everybody. He says, can you say it one more time with more of a very white voice?
Oh, we're live.
That's awesome.
I like looking at myself.
You love looking at yourself. Give us 1 second here, everybody. We're going to give a few minutes to let everybody else get online if they want to join us.
We're expecting thousands of people.
Thousands.
So,
yeah.
So we'll let the other thousands get online.
So good. You should put your hat forward, Ben.
It's my backwards hat.
You do wear your backwards hat a lot. I have no idea how to do this. This is really actually quite fun. Let's go this way.
People gonna have to watch this though after we're gonna be posting all this this part of it.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
All right.
Good. They'll be very entertained.
Who wouldn't want to be entertained by you?
Many
people. All right, let's see if we can do this. WIRTH.
Just focus on doing whatever needs to be done. Oh, wait, is that someone online?
Yep, somebody's joining us.
Okay.
Hey, if you're do us a favor and mention in the comments who's joining us. We'd love to know. Thanks for joining us, by the way. Camera live.
We're getting things going. We're just working on
they left. Okay, bye.
I really don't think we should be posting this part. Since no one's on, why don't we just start this again?
Well, no, because you have to keep it so that it continues. Cancel. You have to keep it going. Delete. Discard. Hello, how are you? What's going on? We're just getting things sorted here. Give us a second, please and thank you. If you have a question, we'd love to hear from you. Drop in the comments and we can see it in the chat, I should say.
I am on a Friday. People are heavy working. We're working.
This is work. We're working it.
We are. We are.
Oh, amazing. All right. Sorry, I just gotta sort out what I'm doing here. How do I do this? WIRTH. There it is. 1 year anniversary Q&A. Okay, we're doing this on Facebook as well.
Okay.
Okay, he says. There we go. Okay. Awesome. All right, let's do the intros.
Okay. Everyone, I guess we decided to just do a little update, share with just passing the 1 year anniversary of WIRTH, of kind of putting WIRTH back into the world. So wanted to kind of have this video and share what's been going on. My name is Ben, for those who don't know, and helped kind of just start this thing and put it into the world.
Amazing. And when you say put it back into the world, what do you mean by that?
When I say put WIRTH hats back in the world, I mean because the first WIRTH started back in 2014, or essentially 2015, when 25 WIRTH hats were made to give to Jacob's closest friends and family. And so it was only meant to be a one-off. It was meant to be given to those his closest 25, and that was that. Each person had a tag and a reminder around their own mental health and how that we need to kind of look out for each other. And so that's what I mean when I put it back into the world. So that was in 2015, and it was just a one-off. And then in 2018, we put it back into the world due to the circumstances and things that happened, which you can all read in WIRTHhats.com/story to find the full story of WIRTH Hats.
Awesome. I'm always curious. I don't think I've ever asked you this. Why? Like, what was it that just what was the deciding factor for you to have those first 25 hats made? Like, what were you doing? Were you just sitting there? Were you jamming with some friends?
The deciding factor, it was really just, I said this, it was very, very apparent in knowing it wasn't even me taking the time to think through it, is when, Jacob died by suicide. I knew right away. It was amazing how fast they came. It was obviously like shock in that, and our many conversations around his hat company and him wanting to, create that company just came into my head, and it was just happened pretty fast. It was just like, this is something I know I'm going to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm really curious as to know who has the first 25 hats.
Yeah. So some I don't know, some of the people, because it was in Copenhagen, where I was at the time, because Jacob and I went to school together. I went to Copenhagen Business School. There was about 5 of us from his class that got them. So the closest kind of 5 and his close friends in the class, and we all met and had dinner together, and the hats were kind of given out, and we just shared stories and chatted about mental health and Jacob and and the good times and everything in between. And then I met his sister, and I flew to Vienna and met his sister and gave her a bunch of hats to give out to who she felt were Jacob's closest friends there. And then I met a variety of people I hadn't met in Copenhagen that were connected with them. So it just, there's the 25 out there that all have original WIRTH hat. It's worth millions. It's worth millions of dollars, and I have mine.
That's awesome.
Stored away in a vault.
The vault. So good. Okay, so we are just past the 1-year mark of our first pop-up shop. So we're saying that's kind of like our 1-year anniversary. What would be your highlight from the last year? Maybe like top 3.
Yeah, top 3. One came very recently, and I was just talking about it the other night. And so maybe they won't be in order, but we did an event at Lululemon. It was May 23rd, so for Mental Health Month. It was our big event, and the whole event was great. But for me, it was, so we had a counselor come in named Anna Richards, and she kind of shared for 10-15 minutes her story and how she got into counseling. And then it was the Q&A session. And so anytime you do a Q&A, you're always like, ooh, are people going to have questions? Is there, or is it just going to be crickets? And it was such an amazing feeling where people were so engaged, and there were questions just started coming out from the audience around counseling, around mental health, around, how we are as human beings. Like it was a moment where I was incredibly grateful. I was incredibly grateful, and it felt like a chapter was being turned. And so just seeing people's need and want for it, and to kind of have those kind of conversations. And so that was one of the, and I actually met with Anna the other night, and I told her that was one of the biggest moments for me in the last year. Another one, our first pop-up in Patagonia, which was, I thought it was actually in May, but our first pop-up where it was in the beginning of June.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
It was like, it was a planning lead up. It was very at the beginning of June. And That was another big moment of just first pop-up in Patagonia. And then the other big moment was probably the bike. I'll put the bike tour. The bike tour, the quad tandem.
For sure.
Bike tour down the coast, and the amount of conversations we had. My mom's watching.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, just the amount of conversations and the whole impact that had, and the video that came from it, and the screening that we had on March with the tandem tour, March 7th or whatever that was, at UBC Robson Square.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Tandem Tour Foundation was started by Ben and 3 other friends, and they rode across Canada the first time.
Yeah. In 2010, 4 of us rode across Canada, and each person had a different cause on the bike, and it was kind of like 4 guys, 4 causes, 1 bike.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
cool. And then the second ride was
2014 with Jeff Belanger, Hamilton, Simon, Ryan Hickey, and Katie. What's Katie's last name? Yeah, Katie. Yeah,
Katie. She's like Cher. She doesn't need a last name.
She doesn't need a last name.
Awesome.
She was the reason why those boys got from Vancouver to Mexico. She single-handedly brought those boys down.
You went all the way to Mexico.
They went Vancouver to Mexico. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Awesome. Mr. Downey, thanks for watching, buddy. Very cool. And so then this last trip was obviously from Portland to San Francisco. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so if you don't know, tandemtourfoundation.org, I think is the website. You can go check it out. But that's pretty cool. And then so we've got your highlights. We've got the reason why you started it. If anybody watching has any questions about WIRTH and would love to hear it, drop it in the chat. That'd be super cool. I want to take a second to thank Mike, who's now watching on Facebook. All the videos and stuff that we have up until this point, it's all his handiwork. He's an awesome, super awesome YouTuber. So go check him out, Downey Live. What's up, buddy? Yeah. What
are we looking forward to we could obviously,
exactly.
I could talk about lots of things for a long time, but yeah, the 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So just kind of past our 1-year anniversary here, which is, again, it's crazy to think that it's, the amount of things that happen in 1 year can happen in 1 year. And it's been a pretty amazing journey and ride. And as I said, even for me, the Lululemon event felt like returning another chapter, and a big thing now is going into our 2nd year, and kind of really, how can we make WIRTH Hats? How can we take the next big step? How can we start to create have a sustainable, have this have an impact for the long term? And one of our big goals last year was obviously how to pay for people to go to counseling, how to break down the barriers around counseling and therapy, and for us wanting to be able to support those people that go to counseling who would otherwise be unable to afford it. And so one of our big goals was always around, for every hat someone buys, we're going to pay for a counseling session. And, we're in the midst of trying to reach that goal. And by the end of the year, we'd love to be able to reach that goal. For every hat that you buy, we pay for someone to go to counseling and therapy, and doing that and partnering with some of the biggest online counseling providers. So with that, launching our Indiegogo campaign, and trying to raise $25,000 by July 4th, so we can make that dream become a reality. And we need to start to make a larger inventory of orders so we can bring our costs down, and really try and work to bring our costs down. For those who don't know, all our hats are made local in Vancouver.
Richmond.
Richmond, right, not local, Richmond. So it is really trying to understand all our costs and bringing it as low as we can be in the conditions and the environment of being as local, and trying to put as much money towards paying for people's counseling sessions.
Absolutely. And a big part of that is making sure that, like Ben said, I'm trying to reposition the camera and talk at the same time, which is never a good thing. Just stop doing that, Chad. yeah, so the biggest reason why we're doing this is to get a larger sum of money so that we can order more hats, so that we can have a better margin on those hats, and be able to take a larger chunk of change and bring it into our counseling fund. Yeah, super cool. Hi, Tara from Calgary. Good to see you. Thanks for watching.
I wonder how long people are interested in. I'm like again, because they could talk for a long time, but I think almost shorter, sweeter, and like trying to just. Unless you tell me I'm wrong, unless you say we should just keep talking. But
I want to know from you guys. So, is there anything that you want to know that you don't know about WIRTH, or about the journey, or about what we're doing, that you're really curious about? So go ahead and type it in the comments if you would. There's 5 on Facebook and then 2 on YouTube. So we'd love to hear from you guys. Dave, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. So questions about WIRTH and about where we're going and what we're doing. I think one of the big things that is interesting to me is the amount of I don't want to say red tape, but the amount of stuff that we're having to navigate in and around setting up a counseling fund.
Yeah.
So in the last week, we've talked to 2 lawyers, startup specialist, an accountant, Van City. So huge props to Van City for being there for us and really, committing a lot of exciting stuff to making sure we can make a go of this. But yeah, so what are some of the things that through this pilot project that's become apparent for you?
Yeah, it's just so, again, there's just so much, and especially around with counseling, you just want to, it's a sensitive thing, and you want, so we're engaged with a lot of counselors to try and how do we do this the best way, and how do we, for example, how many sessions do you pay for if someone's going to start counseling? We're not just paying for one session for one person, because that's not it's nothing really. There's a period of time of just developing a relationship with the counselor, and so there's just so many things around it, and how to set people up for just a positive experience, and how and again, even with talking to how to put it on the page, how do people apply, how do people there's just a lot of things that go into it. And, for those who don't know, it's like WIRTH Hats is off the side of our desks. It's something that, we all have full-time other things that we do. And so it's a lot, and, trying to just do it the best we can and do it one step at a time. And so, and hopefully, we like certain things to move faster. But again, we're really excited we've started our pilot with BetterHelp, which is the biggest online counseling provider. We're just in the midst of starting it, and it's huge. Like, there's been huge steps, but it's like, it'll be a constant learning process of like, what is the best way to kind of connect with people, help people, and to learn from people. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, we're relying on BetterHealth and Talkspace BetterHealth currently to kind of be the vehicle that we use to provide and connect the whole counseling piece. Go.
Yeah, well, 2, I just want to, I could let you finish it, to BetterHelp. BetterHelp.
Thank you.
But a call out too, if this is actually, because we have connected with local counselors as well, and we're, long-term goal, but in Vancouver, we're connected to local counselors who, on behalf of WIRTH, are offering free counseling sessions. And so I want to put it out there for anyone's watching. If you do live in Vancouver, even if you don't, because we'd still like to hear from you, but if you do live in Vancouver and you know someone who would benefit from going to counseling, who can't afford it, please send us a message, because we have resources at this point in time to be able to possibly help someone. We love to talk. We love to talk with them, and if they're comfortable with it. So it is an ask. If you're watching this and know someone who would really benefit, who struggles financially, please contact us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Good point. Very good point. So I guess, unless there's anything else that you really want to talk about.
No, just excited for this next year, nervous for this next year. It's been amazing momentum, and we've just shared a fraction, even, you've led this charge around Red Academy and, all the students there working on things with WIRTH. Like, it's just been an amazing journey, and the things that people don't see, the hundreds of messages coming in, and so I'm excited, nervous for the next year, and would love to make a big next step where we can start to see WIRTH as a sustainable, business where we're, for every hat sold, we're paying for someone's counseling session.
Huge.
That'd be amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for those of you who don't know, we are going to post our Indiegogo campaign video on all of our platforms and channels this afternoon. So ideally, we would love your help between now and apologize, we're doing Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So I'm just like, I don't know where to look. Yeah, say hi to Facebook.
Say hi to Michael.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Dave. We would love your help to post and share this. And for those of you who know anything about how the social media algorithms work, if a whole bunch of people post something in a short amount of time, it'll amplify that, and we'll get a greater horizon of people who will pay attention to that. So between now and kind of like 1:00 this afternoon, if you would hit up our any social channel, we'll have it up hopefully within about half an hour, 45 minutes, our video. And if you could share that, that would be amazing. We just want to reach as many people as possible. We've only got maybe another week and a bit before the campaign closes. Hi, Jess.
We did say our Indiegogo.
Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah, Indiegogo.
Yeah, so that would be super grazing. Hi, Mason. What's up?
I have one last thing. The last thing to say, if there's a space. So last thing I wanted to say is, yes, the Indiegogo campaign. Any support you can provide would be amazing. But I do want to just, they may never even watch this, but thank everyone on the team.
Absolutely.
Well, everyone who's bought hats and supported.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But we have an incredible team of people that has made this year possible. And, they know who they are, whether it's they've had just help for a few things, a lot of things. There's just an incredible group of people that have been on board with WIRTH. If I start mentioning names, then I'll have to mention all names. But there's. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for the support. It means so much.
Yeah. Whether it was coming out to a pop-up shop and hanging out for the afternoon, or one of the people who were involved in the tandem tour, to the rest of the board. It's amazing. Really, really is.
Yeah.
So Mason and Jess, just recognizing you guys just joined, do you have a question about WIRTH, where it's going, before we wrap up? You guys are curious about anything? Do you want to know anything about where we're going? Obviously, this video will be there, so you can go back and kind of watch the video later on if you wanted to get caught up on what we talked about. Hey, Amanda, same thing to you. If you have questions about WIRTH and about what we're doing, where we're going, outside of the original story. But if you guys haven't seen the story yet, please go to wirthhats.com/story and watch that amazing video that Mike Downey shot during the Tandem Tour Foundation, where Ben kind of goes into the why of what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Downey's got a question. Will WIRTH ever expand beyond hats?
Well, yeah, that means, Michael, do you mean two? Yeah. So hats are possibly, Jacob's dream was to create a hat company. That's his dream. That's what I want to fulfill. I wanted, before anything else, I wanted an amazing hat company. First and foremost, too, I've said this from the start, I want to make hats that people love to wear. I want to make hats that people don't want to take off their heads. I want to make hats that every morning people wake up and like want to put on their head. And so too, and that goes to the side note, we want to hear from people about if we have a hat, if you have a hat that you love that we don't have, like we want to know what is your favorite hat. We want to know what is a hat that you'd wake up and put on in the morning. So going back to Mike's question, because I go on rants, we are going to plan to do toques, beanies for this fall/winter. So that's kind of the next thing we're going to do. Michael, we're going to do
like your school.
What?
No, keep going.
Get fired up, passionate. All right,
buddy. Good question.
Yeah, anyway, get me all riled up, Mike. But again, so right now, headwear, Michael. Headwear. It'd be cool. Well, even on the bike trip we had, they weren't worth helmet, but we had decals, and made me think of like the helmets, like headwear. Yeah. So
if you haven't yet contributed to the Indiegogo campaign, you can get one of these sweet decals for your computer or your helmet. I think they're only like $5 or $10. But yeah, please go to the Indiegogo campaign and contribute. For those of you who just joined, we are asking everyone in our Worth family to help share the videos that we're going to put up around our Indiegogo Kickstarter campaign to really get it out there to a larger audience. So just really, really quickly for those of you who just joined. Okay, cool. Awesome.
We should put the link in.
Yes, in the chat.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Oh, and before I forget though, there have been a number of amazing human beings who have reached out and said, hey, can we help? We want to do a 1-for-1 espresso ceramic cup sort of thing. And so although WIRTH Hats will probably focus on headwear, there's been a ton of people who reached out and said, hey, we want to do this and that and the other thing. So we'll, if you're watching or if you see this, we'll reach out in the next little bit. But some exciting news. What happened yesterday? Actually, do you want to share that?
What? Oh. Yeah, we're in our first official store in Vancouver. So which is amazing. So we've always been hesitant in the sense of when you put in a store, they take their portion, and so we want as much as we can to be going towards our mission, our cause. So Sunday small markets.
Sunday small goods.
Sorry, yeah. Sunday small goods. Vince is incredible at Sunday small goods. They decided they would put our hats in, and just from supporting our mission. So they're in Dunbar. More we'll post about it. More to come around that. But it's pretty amazing that we have our WIRTH Hats officially in our first store in Vancouver. Yeah, which is great.
So good.
Yeah. I feel people are tired of hearing about us now. I think, did you put the link? Yeah, there are links there. I think that's it. Just want to again thank everyone on the team, on the tour team. Yeah, your brother Adam. That's on them because we can go down that list. Yeah, it's the only person we'll mention because he's watching is Michael Downey. Other than that, you know who you are. It's been an amazing first year, and we look forward to an exciting second year. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm going to end this one.
Ending. Bing.